Do you know who I am? I'm kind of a big deal.
Hello and welcome inside another edition. It is the Bmore Baseball Podcast over there. That's Mike Bordick, the 14-year MLB veteran and Orioles Hall of Famer. I'm Jerry Coleman. We're producing brand new content every day, whether it be on our X, Facebook, or Instagram page, or on YouTube. It's all at one address, Bmore Sports Pod. That's Bmore Sports Pod. Put it in the search engine. And also you can find us with our partners at BaltimoreSun.com. Just ahead, episode 14, Bordy, we're going to get to catch up with former Oriole Trey Mancini and find out what he's up to and what's next in his career. We'll also talk about Ryan Helsley's checkered return to the bullpen. And is Las Vegas a desirable place for players who may want to play for the Athletics in a $2 billion stadium? But let's bring in our featured guests. All our guests are sponsored by Science and Kirk. Injured in an accident, you've got to call Science and Kirk. If you have a phone, you have a lawyer. And who doesn't have a phone? Call 1-800-LAWYERS or visit youhavealawyer.com. Trey, thanks for coming on again. It's been a few years. Great to have you back. I think we were all shocked and surprised what happened with the Angels after just a brief stint in which you produced. But what was it like for your re-debut, a brief one at that?
Thanks for having me on, guys. So happy to be here and see you guys again. It was an incredible, crazy week. That's the best way I can describe it. I had all the emotions that I did in my debut in 2016 last week, whenever I guess I call it the re-debut with the Angels. And it was just the same emotions you feel all day. You're nervous, you're excited, adrenaline's pumping. You hadn't really slept the night before. You don't really want to eat that day. It was the exact same thing. And then when the game started, all of that kind of went away and it turned into just this focus that's really hard to describe, especially when you're up at the plate. And it was just a day that I appreciated and didn't take for granted. And it was one of the best days of my life. So it was just such a cool experience to experience that all again.
You kind of got to be reunited with Brady Anderson. Tell us quickly how that was and really how that all transpired, because Brady was pretty influential, I think, in your career and in some of the choices you made down the road.
Brady was extremely influential as anybody that I've ever had, impact my career. And there's been countless people that have done so. So I originally met Brady, long story short, 10 or 11 years ago in 2015. I was backing up for one of the major league games in spring training. I was a minor league call up for the day. He just saw me take a few swings on deck and saw that I was low, spread out, and really flicky with my hands and looked like I kind of tried to go opposite field every pitch, which I did. And I was a good hitter, always hit for average, but never hit a ton of home runs. And he could tell that just from looking at a couple swings on deck. So I went over to the big league side the next day, worked with him. He changed my stance, told me about weight transfer and distribution and that I could get more out of my body. And that's the year that I really took off, was 2015. And the next year I debuted, and he helped me out throughout my career, especially in those early years. So long story short, years pass. It's 2024. I'm not playing that year. I had gone to spring training with the Marlins and didn't make the team out of spring and didn't get picked up afterwards. So I thought I was done. He texted me in July and said that he thought that I should give it another shot. And if I was fully committed to it, wanted to hit again, that he'd work with me. And at around that same time, I was kind of having second guesses on if I wanted to permanently be retired. I didn't love how I left the game. My career just ended abruptly, in my opinion. And I knew deep down I could still hit. So I went and hit with him, and it felt like old times again. And the Diamondbacks called a few months later. Like, my agent told some teams that I was willing to go back and play in the minors and try to work my way back up. And that got me back into the game. So he's always believed in me, even when I haven't really believed in myself at times.
So he had the most impact in terms of getting you to the Halos as the batting instructor there. And what did he have to say to you after the abrupt release?
Oh, no, I mean, he just said that I did an amazing job. I knew going into it that it was probably, no matter what, going to be a temporary thing. They have a lot of really good young players, and um, I knew when somebody needed to be activated from the IL that I was probably going to be the odd man out, but I didn't really think about that at all when I was up there. I was just trying to help the team win every day. I never thought I was going to play in the majors again. So I made sure not to take it for granted and not to worry about things too far in the future, things that I couldn't control. I wanted to be in the moment and not have any regrets. And I can luckily say that I don't, but that's part of the business. I'm 34, first baseman, right-handed. It's just not on paper, especially these days, like going to move the needle for a lot of people. So I'm thankful and honored that I was able to make it back up in the first place, quite frankly.
Well, you made an impact right out of the gate. Those 3 hits, that's pretty impressive stuff.
Thanks.
Listen, man, first of all, I've been a fan of you since you came into the Oriole organization. I had the pleasure of seeing you through the minor leagues, come up with guys like Cedric Mullins and Austin Hayes. I think even Aiken might have been on a couple of those teams back in the day. To see you guys work through the minor leagues and come up together is all well and good, because I think you all learned about resilience and perseverance. But I don't know, man. You took it to another level. I mean, your life story is pretty amazing. The seasons you've had to go through. The other day, I met with an old Notre Dame dude. Rudy Rudiger, of course, the great Rudy movie. All right, and this is what stuck out to me when he said, "I knew I was going to be all right with football because I could get up. Period. I could get back up." And when I look at somebody like you and your career, 8th rounder, grinding through the minor leagues and always getting back up, getting opportunities to make it to the big leagues, and my gosh, how did you get the resolve to dig deeper and find more perseverance? It just blows me away, Trey. Blows me
Thanks,
away.
Bordy. Yeah, I mean, I obviously went through a lot during my career. Early on, I guess what I thought was adversity was just kind of slogging along through the minors, having to prove yourself at every level. But in hindsight, I really appreciate that. I guess you could say I was slow played through the minors, because I really did have to struggle and master every level before I got to the majors, which I was so appreciative of, because when I got to the majors, I was ready. I had never been sent down. But I never got sent down by the Orioles, because they called me up when they made sure I was ready. So it gave me a lot of confidence, especially early in my career. And then obviously everything that I went through in 2020 with the colon cancer diagnosis, chemo, and then coming back from that, my confidence unfortunately wavered a little bit at the time. And I think when I was in Baltimore, I was so comfortable there and had been so confident there that I was able to at least get by. In 2021 and 2022 and play pretty well. But once I was traded and left, my confidence just kept, unfortunately, going down. And I think I felt like I had to prove myself to a new group of people, while deep down, like, knowing my body had changed a little bit and the game just hadn't come as easy to me in the 2 years following my diagnosis. And at the end of it, I didn't really recognize who I was as a baseball player anymore when I got cut from the Cubs in 2023, which was a really tough feeling. But we're all human. Things like that happen. And I wanted to be away from the game after that, and didn't really feel like I wanted to come back. Even though I went to spring training in 24, there wasn't a really clear plan for me to play much in AAA that year. And I was kind of okay with it at the time, because again, didn't know if I wanted to keep playing, because the last few years had been so hard. I was so worried about my health, and also simultaneously trying to be a good Major League Baseball player. It was just a lot to handle and hard to balance. So 2024 was huge for me to be away from the game, try to heal and move on. And then after I had done that competitive fire kind of came back in me. And as athletes, we all always have a goal that we want to reach, and we know what we can do deep down. And I think I reflected on the last few years and kind of regretted how they had gone. And knew that if I had a chance to go back and play, that I wouldn't take it for granted. And I don't. And I'm really thankful how everything worked out and that I got that second chance. Even though years passed, it still just felt like a cool full circle moment to be up there last week.
Trey, I got to tell you, it's pretty remarkable for someone to go 1,000 days without playing in a major league game and then make it all the way back to the highest level. Which leads me to the next question. What's next? Have you decided to end your major league career? Or, I mean, I feel like you still have the talent to play at the highest level.
Yeah, I haven't decided anything yet. I'm still in the kind of DFA limbo process right now. So I'm going to let that play out, see what happens, if any offers come through and what they are. So yeah, that I'm going to figure all that out. And there's a lot to balance. We have a baby now too. And I love being a dad. So, if the right opportunity comes up, then I'll pursue it. But yeah, haven't quite decided what's going to happen. So I think there will be some clarity in the next day or two with all that.
Yeah, no doubt. I love to Sarah and your new daughter too. You guys are so beautiful. Unbelievable. And I'm sure she had an incredible role on everything you've gone to her. You guys make a beautiful young couple. So
thanks, Bordy. Yeah,
I enjoy seeing.
Yeah, she kept me upright and going for years there. Like when I was talking about kind of those tough times, especially after 2020, trying to get my confidence back, things like that. She was with me the whole time and always there for me.
Yeah, and pretty impressive stuff. I got this question here, Trey. I think you're a pretty interesting ball player because I feel like you came into the league as an old school type of player.
Yeah.
Give me my lunch pail, baby. I'm going to bust my butt, and I will show you that I belong in the big leagues. And all of a sudden, the game has changed over the last 10 years. There ain't no doubt about that. And now you're mixed in with this analytic group of younger players. Okay. How has that gone? And how did that transition go? And do you buy into that? Did you try to make an analytical adjustment?
So you know what? I think there's a good balance. And the older I've gotten, the easier it's become to take the information given to you and dumb it down to how you need it to be. Because I'm somebody, I can't be out there thinking about anything when I'm at the plate. I have to see ball, hit ball. So like, I think all of the info that you're given is so good. You work on it in the cage. You prepare for the pitcher and the bullpen guys that you're going to face and what they might throw you. But when you're up there, you use that for your plan, but then you got to go up there and just hit and to execute. So I saw something recently. I actually think Zach Britton tweeted it, that analytics they're so useful. They're such a useful tool. And every team obviously uses them now, but whenever you're in game, you kind of want to have that old school mentality in a way and go out there and play baseball and not overthink certain situations and overthink things. It's a sport where, the less you think and the more you're in a flow state, the better you're probably going to be. And I think when it first really became popular a few years ago, like I tried to do too much with it and my mind got clouded a little before I played instead of just going out there and playing too. So I think there's a good balance and there's a way to take that information, use it to better yourself, but then go out there and just play ball.
Trey, quick question about the Halos. No, you're no longer with them. They're playing the Orioles this week. Did you get a chance to spend time with Grayson Rodriguez and all the trials and tribulations he's gone through?
Yes. So my first game back, he was pitching, which was a really cool full circle thing because I had just missed him in Baltimore. I met him a few times, like right after he got drafted, and then he was in spring training with us a couple times. So I feel like I knew Grayson pretty well already by the time that I got there. Obviously, we were in spring together this year too. So he's the man. He's, I know he's had some injury misfortunes over the last few years, but so talented. He can throw the hell out of the ball. So he's a really good player, and it was really cool getting to play with him.
Trey, I got one more final question for you, brother. and this might be a little off topic, but I'm concerned about obviously your health and well-being. And I know you've had to learn an incredible amount about your body and obviously things that happen. And I think in a lot of ways, it makes us better when we start understanding how incredible our human body is and what it can do, and, and how resilient it truly is. Here you are, I guess it's about 5 years, right? So isn't that kind of a time where you recheck things out? And is it a nonstop battle against cancer? And how often do you check for things?
Yeah, great question. Thanks for asking, Bordy. Yeah, so I'm 6+ years out now. So you never want to put the cart before the horse, but when I was diagnosed, luckily the blood test in spring training came up with, and I had no iron in my body because I had no other physical symptoms. I would have never known until it was too late, unless Brian Ebel and the rest of the training staff, if they didn't notice that or just kind of brush it to the side, I wouldn't have made it. So I'm so lucky I was diagnosed when I was, but it was already stage 3, obviously, and I had to go through chemo, and it was an aggressive form. So it's something I definitely stay on top of. I get checked every year now, but I still do my blood work every 3 months. There's like this specific tumor DNA test. It's a ctDNA test is what it's called. So after my surgery, they sent some of my tumor tissue to a lab, and then they take your blood every 3 months and just make sure that none of those cells are circulating in your body. So it's not something I necessarily have to do anymore, but I'm so used to doing it. It's kind of part of my routine. That's baseball. Like we have to have a routine. So I do that every 3 months just for, kind of that mental clarity, and you try to stay on top of it. And on top of that, just eating healthy and making sure that I take care of myself, because, we still don't quite know if it's more environmental, diet. Obviously there's some hereditary things that go into it, but there's no specific answer for why so many young people are getting diagnosed with it too.
Crazy.
Well, thank God for that physical at the right time by the Brian Ebel company.
Yeah.
A lifesaver, literally.
Yeah, I'm forever indebted to them.
Now, listen, I mean, hopefully you play again, but I guess one of the career highlights for you has to be winning a World Series ring with the Astros. Which safe is that in right now?
I do have it in a safe. Yes. I don't think I'm ever going to wear it, though. I don't know what situation, unless it's a team reunion, that it looks classy. The rings nowadays are pretty flashy. So it's more of a memento and, something to show people if they want to see it. But I've got it put away safely.
Well, there are a lot of us that played a long time to try to get one of those dang rings, brother. Way to go. You deserve it for sure, man. You deserve it for sure.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, it was incredible.
Don't wear that around the Orioles clubhouse. That's just my advice.
Yeah, no, I would never do that.
Hey, Trey, we want to thank you for the time. All the best to you, Sarah, and the new one. Happy Father's Day to you, and look forward to seeing you back at the major league level, man.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you having me on. Great to see you guys again.
You too. Thanks, Trey.
All right, Trey Mancini, always a class act, Bordy, as
Love
you know.
Him, man. Love him. One of the best.
To help explain how much fun I have playing Fast Play Home Run Riches from the Maryland Lottery, I brought in a home plate umpire. When I have the chance to win instant cash, it makes me feel far out. And if I'm selected as contestant of the game, I can win $500 plus another $500 for every Orioles.
All right!
And $5,000 for every Grand Slam. Doesn't it make you wanna
Play ball!
make the right call this season and play Home Run Riches from the Maryland Lottery?
Here's something the car insurance companies don't want you to know. If you've been injured in a car accident, the insurance companies are already working against you. They have a team full of agents whose job is to give you as little as possible. That's why you need an experienced lawyer. Science & Kirk has been fighting for accident victims for over 50 years. They know how to handle the insurance companies and know how to get you maximum compensation. Don't go it alone. Remember, you have a lawyer. Call Science & Kirk today or visit youhavealawyer.com.
Shop Maryland's largest adult use and medical cannabis menu located at 1114 Cathedral Street in Baltimore, with medical delivery available throughout Maryland 7 days a week, only at Relief Shop.
Hey Oriole fans, it's Oriole Hall of Famer Mike Bordick here. During my 14 years in the big leagues and over 1,700 games, I put a lot of miles on my body. Listen, I used to judge my days by how I'd walk down the stairs. Now I don't even think about it. I'm almost 60 years old and my legs have never felt better. That's why I trust the Good Feet Arch Supports. They've made a real difference in keeping me active, whether I'm coaching, staying involved in the game that I love, or just enjoying pain-free life here in Baltimore. Thanks to the Good Feet store, I'm still in the game. Visit the Good Feet store today for a free fitting and test walk. Take the first step toward a pain-free life.
Cravings can strike at any time, and Royal Farms is ready to fuel your mornings with fresh brewed coffee, paired with protein-packed breakfast sandwiches and a side of those crispy hash browns. And when the midday hunger hits, bite into a world-famous chicken sub, loaded with flavor and leveled up with a side of Western fries. And when it's time to bring home a crowd pleaser, don't miss out on our world-famous chicken meals, hand-breaded and a hit with the whole family. Whenever you crave, Royal Farms is ready.
Effective Solutions, your one-stop shop for commercial contracting. Everything from excavation and site development to emergency remediation and restoration. Effective Solutions specializes in many forms of commercial and mixed-use construction. With a dedicated staff and a commitment to quality, Effective Solutions delivers every time. Looking for a great place to watch the game, bet the races, and get in on the action without heading to the big city? Head to Greenmount OTB in Hampstead, where the action is always on. Watch every game and race on more than 40 big-screen TVs while wagering on live horse racing or the big game at the Bet Park Sportsbook. You can bet at the window, at a kiosk, or right from your phone with the Bet Parks mobile app. And grab great food from Greenmount Station, home of Maryland's best crab cakes. Then keep the fun going next door at Greenmount Bowl. Greenmount OTB. Big-time action in a hometown setting. 21 and over only. Please play responsibly. For help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, let's move along. For the Birds, which is always sponsored by our friends over at the Maryland Lottery. Play Home Run Riches from the Maryland Lottery. You could win instantly or win cash from Orioles home runs. As a contestant of the game, as always, please play responsibly. I wanted to talk about the return of Ryan Helsley to Mixed Reviews, Bordy. He's coming back from an injury. He was dealing with a right elbow injury, kept him out about 2 months. And how hard is it for a closer to regain that form after being away for a while? We saw him come back, and it was a little bit of a shaky return.
Yeah, definitely. You know, they kind of rushed him back, believe it or not. He only made a couple rehab starts. He was so dominant, though. He was striking everybody out. They said, all right, let's get him up here and see if he can strike everybody out up here. Listen, man, what you're witnessing right now is a modern day closer in baseball, and you're seeing it all over. Everybody in the bullpen, they're so max effort, they just cannot command a fastball. Listen, he gave up a couple home runs the other night on fastballs. The guy's got wipeout stuff, but he just can't harness it. His whip was up over 2. I think it dropped down below 2, but it's risky business. It really is. So it's all or nothing right now. If he can command his fastball just a little bit, he'll get back to that all-star form he was a few years ago with St. Louis. But right now, how about this? He threw 14 fastballs the other day. Literally 6 of them were non-competitive at 100 miles an hour, so far out of the box that you're not even going to get a flinch, even at 100 miles an hour. So trying to get it in that square. When these guys are throwing 98 or 100, that's what their target is. That square in the strike zone. It isn't pinpoint accuracy down and away. It's try to get it in there, and hopefully the velocity has enough of that, life to it. The guys are going to swing through and not make contact. It's the power game now, and that's the risk we take. Listen, he needs to find just a little more command, and we might see some all-star form.
You're right. I don't care if he's hitting triple digits. He needs to hit the strike zone more frequently than he has been. That's more important than anything. But while he was away, I mean, I don't know who the Orioles closer is. I guess he's regained that title, but Anthony Nunez was at one point. He's been demoted. Rico Garcia, all these guys I'm mentioning recorded a save while he was away. Andrew Kittredge, Alberto Suarez, Yanier Cano, but they need Helsley to regain his form if they want to be the team they want to be.
Well, anytime you look at a championship caliber team, the back end of their bullpen is pretty solid with either 2 or 3 really good, solid, trustworthy guys. The Orioles had it with Brad Brock and O'Day and Britton running those guys out there. We've seen other great teams have a strong back end. The Orioles need that, and I think they have some really good arms right now. And if Helsley can find some consistency at the back end, we've seen some really good bright spots. You mentioned Garcia. What a run he went on. I mean, really unbelievable. I think we all knew it wasn't going to last. But what I worry about with guys like him, guys like Nunez as well, they find a hot hand and they run with it, boy. They run hard. They ran Garcia hard and Nunez, both to the point where I think they got overexposed. I mean, everybody in bullpens now get overexposed. It isn't a matter how hard you throw. It's just you get in there so frequently. They know exactly what you're going to throw. Nunez back down in the minor leagues. Tyler Wells has stepped up a little bit. You know, we've had guys dealing with injuries. So it's still kind of an influx bullpen, man. So they need some guys to stabilize it. That's the hope. If you can start at the top with your closer, work your way back, some guys might slide into place. I still think Tyler Wells is going to be a back-end piece. It'd be nice if Garcia and Nunez could figure some stuff back out as well.
Yeah, and it's a shame that Felix Bautista is not walking through that door anytime soon.
It really, how much of a guarantee was that guy a few years ago? I mean, when the mountain came in, it was over. Monster dude that figured out how to command the strike zone. Power fastball, nasty split, all coming downhill from a monster of a mountain man. And yeah, we miss him, man. Listen, is he ever going to pitch again for the Orioles? We all hope. He had elbow and shoulder problems. It's going to be tough, man, but so many of these guys now, these young pitchers that are max effort, are going through this. So hopefully they found a way through, you know, the rehab process to keep him healthy, because we'd all love to see Bautista again, that's for sure.
Indeed. All right, up next, Beyond Baltimore, brought to you by Relief Shop, Baltimore's best adult use and medical cannabis dispensary with 700 plus unique menu items, and home delivery is always available for medical patients to deliver right to your door if you have a medical card, only from Relief, right there in the heart of Baltimore City on Cathedral Street. The Athletics, they're eventually moving to Las Vegas. You may have heard the rumor, Bordy, the team that you used to play for, as I mentioned, your former team. They have a new $2 billion home in the Spin City, which could be completed by next summer, well ahead of schedule, and they plan to move there in 2028. The ballpark's going to have air conditioning. It's going to have an incredible view of the Strip. But will it be a destination for free agents? Because there's this theory out there that Vegas is the place where everyone wants to play because it's Vegas after all. And I counter and say, no, most players go to the highest bidder. Like when you were a free agent, it was only a few times. Did you ever look at the city more than the money?
Oh my goodness, that's a good question right there, because I don't know, it seems like time and time again you see players always follow the lure of money. When I was a free agent, there weren't many teams that were hungry for Mike Bordick as a shortstop, and the team that was the Orioles. And when I started, you know, looking at a couple of teams that were actually interested, ultimately it came down to winning. And I think I would hope that most players would want that experience. I came up with the Oakland A's on the back end of a great dynasty and got to go to the World Series with them. We went back to the playoffs in '92. So I learned about the importance of winning, the detail it takes to actually win. And when we went through a losing spell with the Oakland A's with new ownership, I just thought, oh my gosh, I can't play like this. It is really hard to play on a losing team for 162 games year in and year out for multiple years. It is really hard. So I was hungry to win again. And after the 96 season and playing against the Orioles, I said, man, this team is going to be a dynasty. I could just tell. You could feel it in baseball. Had the opportunity to go there, and it was winning that was the lure for me. And we did win in 97. And to be honest with you, we should have won in 98, 99, and even 2000. I thought we had great players, but the consistency kind of waned when Davey Johnson and Pat Gillick left. Oh, I got all kinds of excuses for that. But we had great players, and it was winning is the ultimate and should be the ultimate motivation for all of these players.
Well, the Athletics hierarchy feels like they're going to have revenues that are comparable to the Dodgers and the Yankees and Mets and Cubs. And they feel like they will be able to pay for the top talent because of their location. But also they have the new $2 billion ballpark. But For me, again, living in Vegas year round, there are some Major League Baseball players, former and current, that do that, but I don't think they do it right there in the heart of Las Vegas. I mean, if you're in there for a 3-day series, okay, I just think it's different. Vegas has 2 professional sports teams right now, a hockey team and also, of course, a NFL team. So when people come in to see the Raiders, they just make it a brief weekend trip. Usually it's the visiting team. The Raiders aren't even the home team in their own stadium. Now, the Golden Knights are for hockey. For baseball, I just think it's going to be a different experience. You go to Vegas for a 3-game series. Let's say you're an Orioles fan and you go out there. Are you really going to go to all 3 games and not go see a show or to a casino or something else? I think not. I don't think you're going to attend all 3 games. I don't think A's games are going to be the end all in Vegas.
No, well, you never know, man. I hear what you're saying right there, though. But $2 billion, they might have enough in that stadium to keep somebody entertained for a 3-game series. That's for sure. Listen, Vegas is a super fun place to play. I got to play there many times. As a minor leaguer, we didn't go to Vegas out of the gate. We went up to Reno, Nevada, where you first got introduced to gambling and baseball, and not together, that's for sure, because it was all illegal and still is illegal today. But it was on one of those road trips up in Reno, Nevada, that I called home in single A because I ran out of money. Literally all my money was gone. And I had to call my dad and I said, buddy, can you wire me some money? He said, all right, he did, to get me to my next paycheck. It is dangerous. Now, down the road, I got to play in AAA and we played in Las Vegas. Terrible experience there, especially with somebody with an addictive personality. I highly don't recommend going to Vegas and gambling on anything. It's very hard to do. One year, the Oakland A's had to open up in Las Vegas because they were building the Al Davis Monument out in center field for the football team. Yep. And it was a terrible experience for me. Even though the ball was flying like crazy in Las Vegas, the gambling was too much of an allure. It was too much of a distraction. And my batting average suffered tremendously to start that season. So I'm not big on it. I'm sure guys will love the opportunity to go to Vegas and play, and I'm sure they're going to do a great job up there. Listen, the Oakland A's have now had a cult following, and I think that cult's going to follow them right up to Vegas.
It'll be interesting to see. I will say you can't avoid gambling in Vegas, whether it be at the airport, whether it be at the hotel lobby, and you can't get through the hotel without going through the casino. It's designed that way, but we will see how it plays out. It'll be fun to watch. It's still a couple of years away, but a $2 billion stadium must be a sight to see. And I know they're going to have a lot of bells and whistles inside of that place, but still, if you're making the trip to Las Vegas, do you want to spend 3 days at the ballpark? Personally, that's a no for me.
Okay, maybe you won't be there, but baseball fans will come and watch the Orioles. That's for sure. And I can't wait to see, what kind of Vegas uniforms they're going to have. It's going to be fun.
It will be fun.
To help explain how much fun I have playing Fast Play Home Run Riches from the Maryland Lottery, I brought in a home plate umpire. When I have the chance to win instant cash, it makes me feel far
Out!
And if I'm selected as contestant of the game, I can win $500 plus another $500 for every Orioles.
Home run!
And $5,000 for every Grand Slam. Doesn't it make you wanna
Play ball!
make the right call this season and play Home Run Riches from the Maryland Lottery?
Here's something the car insurance companies don't want you to know. If you've been injured in a car accident, the insurance companies are already working against you. They have a team full of agents whose job is to give you as little as possible. That's why you need an experienced lawyer. Science & Kirk has been fighting for accident victims for over 50 years. They know how to handle the insurance companies and know how to get you maximum compensation. Don't go it alone. Remember, you have a lawyer. Call Science & Kirk today or visit youhavealawyer.com.
Shop Maryland's largest adult use and medical cannabis menu located at 1114 Cathedral Street in Baltimore, with medical delivery available throughout Maryland 7 days a week, only at Relief Shop.
Hey, Oriole fans, it's Oriole Hall of Famer Mike Bordick here. During my 14 years in the big leagues and over 1,700 games, I put a lot of miles on my body. Listen, I used to judge my days by how I'd walk down the stairs. Now I don't even think about it. I'm almost 60 years old and my legs have never felt better. That's why I trust the Good Feet Arch Supports. They've made a real difference in keeping me active, whether I'm coaching, staying involved in the game that I love, or just enjoying pain-free life here in Baltimore. Thanks to the Good Feet store, I'm still in the game. Visit the Good Feet store today for a free fitting and test walk. Take the first step toward a pain-free life.
Cravings can strike at any time, and Royal Farms is ready to fuel your mornings with fresh brewed coffee, paired with protein-packed breakfast sandwiches and a side of those crispy hash browns. And when the midday hunger hits, bite into a world-famous chicken sub, loaded with flavor and leveled up with a side of Western fries. And when it's time to bring home a crowd pleaser, don't miss out on our world-famous chicken meals, hand-breaded and a hit with the whole family. Whenever you crave, Royal Farms is ready.
Effective Solutions, your one-stop shop for commercial contracting. Everything from excavation and site development to emergency remediation and restoration. Effective Solutions specializes in many forms of commercial and mixed-use construction. With a dedicated staff and a commitment to quality, Effective Solutions delivers every time. Looking for a great place to watch the game, bet the races, and get in on the action without heading to the big city? Head to Greenmount OTB in Hampstead, where the action is always on. Watch every game and race on more than 40 big screen TVs while wagering on live horse racing or the big game at the Bet Park Sportsbook. You can bet at the window, at a kiosk, or right from your phone with the Bet Parks mobile app. And grab great food from Greenmount Station, home of Maryland's best crab cakes. Then keep the fun going next door at Greenmount Bowl. Greenmount OTB. Big time action in a hometown setting. 21 and over only. Please play responsibly. For help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And we want to thank all our listeners and viewers, and more importantly, our sponsors. Go out and support them. They have supported this podcast for years, and we appreciate that. Until next time, be real, be kind, and make sure to be back for another episode. It is the Bmore Baseball Podcast.